I'll be right back.
You got me set up I can share, right?
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me make you co-host before I go grab it.
Yeah, you don't need to be drinking any more coffee tonight, brother.
I always do it.
Just have a beer.
Hey,
Have a beer
that
with
sounds good.
See how
Some LG coffee.
I don't drink. I don't drink.
it. I don't drink whiskey. I gave up the whiskey. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less either.
Amen. Let me get over here and let me get back over here. Now, we got to tweak this thing, but this is something we've been working on for content purposes for the Mentor 10 project that we're going to be talking about tonight. Somebody wants to see the beer. There you go. It's blurred out, but that's just to protect the name of the company that I don't want to talk about.
I've actually locked out the two I call piss and vinegar.
That's probably a good thing. Can you see me, Gary?
I can see.
Okay. So what Gary's been doing, of course, is working with AI and developing this project that we're calling Mentor 10 for a short version for now. But this is pretty cool because this is stuff that I don't see anybody else doing. We're going to show you something else that's inside the websites that Gary and our VAs are creating. That's part of the project. So this is real quick. Now, I will tell you ahead of time, don't worry about the guy not mouthing all the words yet. We're going to get that fixed. But I just want you to see the content and understand when you have the ability to post content that will grab somebody's attention. The whole point of this, as Gary will tell you, is to get them to stop scrolling. Right, Gary?
If you don't get them to stop scrolling, posting means nothing.
There you go. Now, hang on. Make sure I got my volume because it's going to be pretty quick. Well, let's play.
Would you spend $20 a month to sponsor 10 to 15 people monthly? Now's your chance. Act now before your downline does link in comments or bio.
There you go. Short, sweet, to the point. You quit sharing. If you liked what you saw there, give us a 1. If you thought that was hot garbage, give us a 2. Amy said 11.
Yeah, okay. The whole point of any content is to do what, guys? Does two jobs. It eliminates people that really don't have an interest per se, because they're never going to follow through and they're never going to be active in any way. So I want to take you back a little bit to the early days of this industry before we get going. And Bob will be able to relate to this even more than most people, and some of you may. There's been more millionaires made at a coffee table in the old days than there is today, in a sense. If you go back to the days of Amway, what did they do? They did coffee table meetings.
The old
They drew
napkins.
circles. They drew
We
circles.
drew circles on napkins.
Yes.
At Denny's.
At Denny's, sometimes in a house party.
And that was before the hotel meetings.
That was long before the hotel meetings. So, and why I'm taking you back there for a bit is because the people that succeeded back then were what you would call leaders today because they had no fear of doing it. They didn't have the fear to get up in front of people, right? Can anybody relate to what I'm saying to you right now? You have the tools that fear no longer stops you. Fear is no longer that wall that's an obstacle in your way. Okay? You could be an introvert like me. I started as an introvert. True story. I was afraid of my own shadow, let alone get in front of people. And I ran into a day back in 1970s, some point in the early 70s. I had to introduce my sponsor up on stage in front of 10,000 people. And guess what happened? Man, my voice couldn't come out. I choked out the introduction. I was frozen in fear. Can anybody relate to this? Give me a 5 if you can relate to that experience of getting up in front of people that you can't find yourself doing at this point in time. Right? It's a scary thing, right? Particularly if you've never been up in front of thousands and thousands of people at one time. Now, today I would not have that fear. I've been up on that stage. I've been in front of a lot of people. So I have the experience, but it came with time. So when I look at the industry and what you're about to see, there's several reasons that I took the approach that you're about to see. And here's it in a nutshell. The numbers that we deal with today makes it very difficult for somebody to get that start, to get them where they're starting to make some kind of serious money. Okay? And here's your reasons. You put, for every 10 people you put in, you're going to get 1 to 2 that do any work. And you're going to have roughly 8 that are there for 3 to 4 months before they drop out. Because why? They didn't make any money. So you're redoing and redoing and redoing, trying to get over that hump. Okay, give me a 5 again if you can relate to have gone through this in your career. Okay? So what if you had a solution that instead of 5 to 10% going and doing some work and having the ability, you could change that number to 70 or 80%? What will happen to the organizations you build? Now, we're interactive here, so I want your thoughts in the chat for me, okay? Yeah, they stay. Guess what else they do? They build your levels down beneath you. Over and over, deeper and deeper. Now you're starting to create what? A sustainable income. Right? The comp plan no longer matters what the comp plan is. It has no bearing to you. Right? Why? How many new people do we have on the call that have not been to an orientation or even to a training that we've done before? Give me a 9 if you're brand new tonight. Hadn't seen an orientation. Nobody knew? Okay. So now we're about to show you why and how this is going to work. Okay. Let's see. Where's my... I guess I could go to Facebook first and then pop up the... Well, come on, load up. All right. Can anybody see my screen? Guys,
I got you.
you got me. Okay. So when we look at this page, number one, there's an incentive here to be taught how to actually build an income, right? If you're new and you see this page, and we're going to go through it for a second and just show you, we have a video here we could play. It's about 38 seconds long. No upsells, no tricks, no BS. We're not going to hit you with a $2,000 course or more. We don't have any hidden costs, no expensive courses, and we're going to show you how to get real results. Okay? Now, this one's actually, some of this we may flip around a little bit because it won't apply to all different compensation plans, right? Weekly trainings, step-by-step duplications, scripts, tools, strategies, ongoing support till you're earning good money. Okay? This site we replicate for you. Okay? We make one with your picture on it, your email, your phone number.
Only ever heard him sing slow, not fast.
Okay? And so here's the key for all of you.
But he does sing fast songs.
If you could get 10 to 15 good prospects a month, every month, what will happen to your business? Now, this is a question for you guys to chew on, and it'll grow. But it'll grow in a different way. It's going to grow exponential. Okay? Exponential. What do I mean by that? Well, see, here's the thing. When you bring in your 10, let's say we're going to pick on Amy for a second, I guess. If you're bringing in 10, maybe 12, even 15 prospects a month that are solid prospects, and they get this page and they're bringing in 10, maybe they're only bringing in 5. Some of them might only bring 5 in. Some will bring 15 in. What happens to your organization when every single one of them, or at least 70, 80%, are engaging? Okay, you build a big team. Now, here's my question, particularly for all of us. If we get you into profit, everyone in your team is into profit, you're starting to make money, do you think that any single one of them is going to quit in 3 to 4 months? What do you think, guys? Do people in profit quit? No. They don't quit. Guess what their attitude is? They're making money. They're going to be on the calls. They're going to go to trainings even though they've already been trained just to be there. Okay? So when they fill out this form, and this form is actually going to end up being redirected, okay? I'm not sure how this phone number got there. Oh, that's for their phone number. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you right over it.
So when the way it's going to end up working, once they fill that form out, it's actually going to take them over to another page, which will be this page. And it says subscribe now. Okay. Now, at this point, we charge them $20 a month, every month, to create the page, to host the page, make any of the changes that we need to make on it. Okay. And I'm going to put the link in there so you can see it. We also provide what? What else do we provide? I'm going to go to my drive and give you some files. You'll have to click on these files if you don't have them. I tried to do it in a single file and somehow it's not working correctly. So, oops, I went too far. Sorry about that. Let's go. This is the number one file that we need. And I can't get to it without moving this. Sorry about that.
Hey, Gary, let's back up a second
Go ahead.
because I know for a fact that there's a number of people on this call tonight that are not part of the project yet.
Okay.
So I like we did it during the first today. And just so you all know, we're going to have our meetings now at 1 Eastern and 8 Eastern on Thursdays going forward.
And one of the things that we may do as we grow, we're not there yet. But as we grow, we're probably going to have to expand beyond 2 Thursday calls. Now, the only way that that's possible because of my time schedule and Bob's is we're going to have to alternate and maybe find 2 or 3 leaders among us that can host these as well. Okay. Now, I say that for a reason. I want to take you back in a little bit of history when Bob and I built a group of about 125,000 in 8 months without a system like this. We had a system or a concept behind us. We kind of built in a way that nobody else had built before. And it was our test model at that time. So I want to take you back so you understand what I'm about to share with you. In fact, we'll go back to a page while we're doing this. And here's where I'm going with that. Bob and I started before we had a website. We didn't have a link. We had one video. And basically what we did at that time was get people committed to when it started that they would join. It was just a commitment. So once it finally got the doors open and we could sign up ourselves and we got a link, we had to wait for a link. We even had people that abandoned ship on us and joined somebody else because they could get a link faster than we could get it to them. So we probably lost somewhere around, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 people because of that. It didn't affect us in the long run. It was unethical by the individuals that did it because they knew that they didn't belong to them. But I'm kind of getting away from where I want to go with this. At the end of our first 7 days, we had 101 people committed. Right? 101 people committed. When the doors opened for this company, I'm trying to remember how long it took us to break to 1,000 people. Do you remember, Bob?
It was only about a month.
About a month. I'm thinking about a month. So we had 1,000 people roughly in a month. But the big break for us, where we really took off, I want everybody in the chat to write this number down. I want you to write this number down. Actually, it's a range. And I'll explain this range to you. It'll mean a lot to Bob and I because it was our breakthrough moment. We didn't even know it at the time. We weren't even aware of how meaningful that number is. Okay? Here's what happened. When we broke 2,300 people, we were doing really good at this point. I can't remember our daily sign up numbers right now because it's been long enough. But we exploded in growth from 2,300. When the week we hit 2,300 people in our group, we started getting somewhere around 50 signups a day or more. Okay? 50 signups a day, paid members daily. As it grew at that point, every week the numbers increased in our daily signups. And we reached a point that we were getting. Now, I hope everybody's sitting down when I tell you this. We reached a point of 5,000 new signups a day until they put a stop. Okay? Yeah.
Hard to believe. But there's a lot of people on this call that were with us. David Gwynn, are you there? Still with us?
I am.
So David, I always love letting a few people that were with us back then give a testimony. And you've got a very good one because you and I go back, what, about 20 years?
Oh, at least that.
And when we first started talking about this, I think you were kind of like me. And there's a very good reason why we're telling you all this story, because there's a lot of new people here that have never even heard about this. But the story has a preface, because what we're doing now is, I'm going to tell you, 100 times more potent. When I say potent, I'm talking about the ability that if you did not have a website, we're talking about now you're going to have your own personal website that brands you. That if we didn't even have a website, we didn't have a link. We didn't have, so we couldn't even do any paid advertising, even if we wanted to. We ended up with 2 videos, one of them that I made that's still to this day there, and we did belly to belly marketing. Now, David, I want you to share when we got past you, what happened with your organization.
Oh man, we just kept doing what we were doing originally and just kept going. And oh my gosh, it exploded.
So
in
how
fact-
many paid members did you get to before we had to shut down?
It's around 12,000 or more to my
about
best memory.
That's about right. Now, I say this, Amy, are you out there?
Oh, God.
Can you unmute Amy? Does she need to be?
I think she's unmuted. Hold on.
She's not unmuted yet.
Well, how come, Amy?
She's got a brand new laptop. She better be able to unmute.
What people don't understand is we did all this by spreadsheet, belly to belly and spreadsheet. And
In your car.
Oh, she's in the
Well,
car.
the reason that I wanted Amy to speak is Amy and her team have my entire right leg. She is on my first level in this one company on my right leg. She did not get the help that David and his team did, that my wife and my daughter and their teams did with Asia and India. But lo and behold, little Amy and her gals with her grew to almost 300 paid members. And I can tell you for a fact that that's never happened for her, ever. And Amy and I have been working together off and on for 8 years in a couple of organizations. Now, we don't tell anybody this to impress you, but I do tell you this to impress upon you a very important thing that you have to understand. Again, what we had in what we did was we didn't have anything. All we had is a concept. We had a theory that we thought we were going to do. And not only did it work so well that yes, we went from 100 a week to 100 a day to 500 a day to 5,000 a day when we were shut down because there was problems with the whole system, which is fine. But I will tell you this, that turned into our first pay run of that particular project, almost $60,000 to my family gross income. Okay. And we're getting ready to fire that up. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Gary. You heard Gary make a comment about that the comp plan doesn't matter. The comp plan is a brilliant comp plan, but it doesn't matter. The reason I can tell you it doesn't matter is because while we were shut down, Gary and I took the same concepts without what you're getting ready to see now, without paid advertising. And we took another company and we built that in a couple of months to over 1,500 paid just recently. So what we're telling you is that we have come across a way that is not just replicatable, it has the opportunity to go completely viral, because that's what it did with the Zalps. That's what it's doing with Save Club. And we have another project that we're not even going to talk about tonight that's working the same way. But the commonality, I'm going to give this back to Gary, the commonality of all this is none of our projects that we've built to these sizes has anything like the tools and the websites that we're building right now for you all, that you're going to be able to set yourself apart. Because what you're seeing here is the ability to use two guys as your mentors to help you learn how to become a mentor or a leader of leaders. That's what you want to become. It's imperative that you set yourself apart from all the noise. And what's the noise? All the noise is the 90% of people in this world that think that by just taking an affiliate link and putting it out there in social media, that people are just going to come join them and go to work. That's the furthest thing from the truth. The last thing that's ever going to happen. But the majority of people do this. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because they don't know what they're doing. And the reason why they don't know what they're doing is they don't have anybody that wants to be a mentor to actually teach them. And I'm going to tell you what some great leaders that I used to have a lot of respect for tell people nowadays. I'm not going to tell you their name, and I ain't going to tell you what companies they're associated with, but I can tell you that they are in the top 10 of one of the companies that Gary and I are, and Gary and I are not even on that leaderboard. Now, Gary and I and my wife and family are on the ranking board for this company because of the size of our team, but we're not on the leaderboard. We don't care about leaderboards. What we cared about was the people that are right here in this room with us. That's who we care about. Okay. Because I've got leaders coming back to me and I say, hey, what's going on? You've got 65 personals. You've got a team of 350 under me, and they're not doing anything. And the answer I got from more than one of these type of leaders was, well, you know what, Bob, I don't have time to babysit people. They'll either learn and get it and go to work, or they won't, and they'll just go on about their business. Now, unfortunately, in the industry that we're in, there's too much of this. And this is one of the things that, 14 months ago now, Gary, is that right?
Yeah, we left off.
We made a decision together. Did we not, Gary?
We did.
That we are going to change this entire industry. And what I mean by change is, again, we did not have the use of what you all are getting ready to see and have seen parts of. We didn't have to have it. But now that we do have it, Gary, tell them what the capabilities are now.
This is going to be kind of hard to understand But I'm going to add one more thing before we go into that. Bob and I accomplished something when we built that group in 8 months that had never been done prior that I've ever heard of. See, we took a vow when we first started to leave nobody behind. Okay? And yeah, we had some people that weren't making what they should make, but they really weren't engaged. We had 90% in profit.
Listen to this very carefully, people, because the biggest company out there in the world with 2 million people claim that they have 30% of their population, 30% of 2 million people in profit, and they do, because I know the people that own the company and I buy products from them. I want you to listen to this very carefully, because what Gary's getting ready to tell you, not only has it never been done, nobody wanted to believe us because they thought that this was just a one-off because of the compensation plan. Go ahead, Gary.
To make there's a reason that 10% weren't there qualified and in profit yet. They were all the new people at the very end. There will always be that 10% not yet in profit because they haven't had time and enough training and enough this and that to get there yet, but they do. So here's the thing. When you look at this system that we put together, and remember the page, okay? You'll have a page, if you choose to join us, you'll have a page just like this, except it'll have your picture, even though the picture didn't load for some reason. Maybe he's working on it. You'll have your picture right here. And guess what I do with that picture? Let me go upload one. I'm going to show you what I do to these pictures. And I got to find one here. Here's one. Now, if you open that file up, he didn't have a suit and tie or in front of a crowd or anything like that. I do this. I can double click it and show it this way. No, I can't. I say I can, but I can't.
No, it's going to make you upload it to your computer.
I don't want to do that. So the point is, I'll take your image when you provide it, and I'm gonna do some magic with it. I do the magic to give you a professional appearance.
Hey, stop your screen share for a second, and while you're talking, I'll pull mine up and see if we can show mine.
Sure, that'll work.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've already stopped.
Yep.
So here's the thing, guys. The way we have this set up, we've created all the perfect content, images. I've even got the perfect optimized posting for Facebook, for Instagram, for YouTube, Medium, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, Reddit, wherever you want to post. I've already got the content optimized and the right size, the tags, everything for you.
Hey, Gary, can you see what I've got up now?
Yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When did I start promoting this, and where am I promoting this?
Oh, we hadn't got there yet, but Bob's only promoted for 2 days this website, his website, 2 days.
And in just the last 2 days, not counting before that, just the last 2 days, just from a couple of posts that I have on my Facebook wall, I've already had 3 people take a look at it, saw enough that they wanted to go ahead and sign up to be mentored. And there's a reason that they're doing this. This is telling you, this is qualifying to you that there are people out there. There's people on this call right now, but I'm not going to name names because that's not important. What's important is that there's people that is on this call right now that have needed to be helped and were not helped, and that's why they're reaching out. Okay. And so this is what you get to do. What you're seeing is me here. Okay. What you're going to be able to see is you. What you don't understand about this is that nobody is going to claim that you are already a 6-figure a year earner or a 6-figure or 5-figure a month earner yet. What you're going to be able to claim is that you are in the process of learning to do what we do. And what we do is we build leaders, because we are leaders of leaders, and that's what you've got to become. Give Gary a 1 if you're with me on this right now. We getting any 1s, Gary?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, because I need you to understand how important this is. Okay, because I don't care what business you got. I don't care what's your freaking comp plan, because it doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is what your intentions are. And if your intentions are righteous and you really want to help people, what you have to do now in the world we live in especially on social media, is you've got to set yourself apart. But there's a learning curve. Gary and I understand there's a learning curve. You're not able to create all this content yet. You're not able to get on stage possibly yet and do what we do, but you will. And you're going to get the use of us. So what this is doing is allowing you to become the professional now in a mentor program where you're learning how to become a mentor. At the same time, you are bringing others. I'm going to call them proteges. Gary calls them mentees. Same difference. But the point is offering your people now, no matter what they're doing, the opportunity to do something very special that's not being done. And I'm going to tell you that we will be replicated. That's why Gary is going to stay out in front of this. And that's why we have our own virtual assistants. That's why we have our own we have our own systems. Okay. We own this. Gary owns this. Okay. And you are going to be able to take advantage of utilizing this and being able to grow your business this way. Because I'm going to tell you, you've got 2 choices in the world that we live in. You can keep doing things the way you're doing them. And I want to know, because I ask people all day long when I talk to people, I say, I love to talk to people about their marketing. And if they're honest about it with me, they'll tell me that they haven't learned anything and what they're trying to do is not working. Give me a 2 if you've heard this before, or if this is you, that what you're doing or what you're trying or it's not about making money yet, because unless you can convert people from being a prospect to a paid member, you're not ever going to make a dime. Okay. And unless you can do what? Unless you can solve their problem, because you got to remember one most important thing about this. This is not about you anymore. This is about your ability to solve a pain point in a person's business. And the pain point is usually going to be that they're not making any money. And the reason they're not making any money is because they don't know what they're doing. And you now get to become the expert and the professional. But because you've got a learning curve, listen to this very carefully. Because you have a learning curve, you get to utilize Gary and I until you don't have to. That's the difference with this. It's one thing to have the tools. It's another thing to have all this content and get overwhelmed by it. But it's a third thing that if you have the correct mentor that's going to take the time to teach you the step-by-step on how to use these tools and how to prepare yourself, then you're going to be able to duplicate. Now, everybody's not going to be able to start out getting 10 per month. That is a goal. That is an objective. That is a point that we are putting out there because we know it's capable. Give me a 3 if you're still with me on this. Give me a 3 if you're still with me. I'm going to show you something now next. Okay, Gary showed you a little bit about what we're capable of doing for people. So you've seen a little bit about this. And I'm going to tell you, I have seen a lot of websites over the last 40 years. And I've seen a lot of fancy websites. They've got all the bells and whistles and all this stuff. And when you get on it, you don't know where to start or how to begin. But I want you to look very carefully at what you're seeing, because this website is very professional. It's very concise. It's to the point. And we give you, right, we give you who this is. We stop right here and where you can go and get signed up right now if that was enough information you needed, or you can call me, because yes, we do answer our phones. And I'm going to tell you something Gary will tell you about me. I do not text nobody. I'm going to talk to you by phone when it's time to talk to you by phone. I'm not going to do any texting. I don't believe in that, because it's garbage. It is garbage. Okay. And if you think it's not, just try it. See how many people you can text a day on your own, and how many responses you get back, versus how many people that you connect and you talk to them like we're talking right here. We built the team of 20,000 paid. We built a team of 1,500 paid by talking with people, by listening to them come to us. And that's how we built this thing. Watch how this works. Okay, this is what Gary was talking about earlier. Okay, right now that's going to be Gary in the replicated site. Okay, the expense to do this for yourself, if you want to do it for yourself, there's a different expense for that. It ain't very much, but it is not going to be done because there's too much work behind the scenes. And Gary's going to explain everything that you're getting for $20 a month. And I think Gary had something about a bonus that we never got to today. But we talk about stopping you dead in your tracks. This is the kind of stuff that's going to stop people dead in their tracks, because they've never seen this kind of stuff before until they start seeing AI. Now they're starting to see similar things. But just listen to this little clip, because this is going to be what you get to use.
Tired of failure trying opportunities? We virtually eliminate failure. What if you could learn to sign up unlimited numbers of prospects every month without a monthly auto ship? What if you had a six-figure mentor personally train you to create that dream income, and the entire out-of-pocket was just $79 to $129, period? Put away fear and enter the perfect deal where you're taught how exactly to build something special. See comments or bio for 10 lucky people to be personally mentored into success.
Give me a 1 if you thought that was worthy of the value that it shows out there. Give us a 1. You getting any 1s?
Yes.
Okay, Gary talked a little bit about this, but listen, I'm talking about the flow, because the next part of a website is it has to flow to your points, your pressure points, your pain points. Why this mentorship is different? Because there's a whole lot of people out there that claim that they're mentors. Okay. And we're giving you the reasons. And in this particular case, we're talking about a specific compensation plan. Okay. But what are you going to get? Okay. You can see that Gary and I's pictures are in here because that's what he was talking about. But what are you going to get? Weekly live training sessions, step-by-step duplication plan, scripts, tools, and strategies that work. We're not going to give you, Gary is doing, and I'm doing all the testing. So when we give you something of content, we can tell you for a fact that it is working. And what working means is that we're getting not just feedback, but we're getting people to sign up. Ongoing support until you're earning. And then again, how it works. We're going right through the system. Okay. And what this is designed to do, we'll stop right here about why timing matters. What this is designed to do is to give you a way to monetize your businesses without selling it. Because I have not talked to you about joining any one of our 3 businesses. And I don't have to, because it doesn't matter. What matters is if you can see the value of what we're doing and can share this, then the person that's going to come and want to do the same thing you're doing is going to do what? they're going to join you in one or more of your businesses. And I'm always going to suggest to you, as I do before, is when you bring somebody in, you start them with one business, because we have to teach them how to run a business with one income stream first and get them in profit before we go anywhere else. You saw what timing matters, okay? And it flows right to this form. And we want to know what's your number one goal with mentorship opportunity. And everybody that's filled this form out so far has given me great answers, and they are insights into what is going on with them and why they haven't become successful yet. I'm going to stop screen sharing now. Gary, go ahead.
Oh, you can leave it up there for right now if you'd like. But here's where we're going with it. And I want to do a pointed question real quick for Leo and Rankin in specific. Do you have another business you're already doing, either of you? I don't need to know the business, only that you do or you don't. If you'll use the chat. Okay, loans, okay. Loans a good field.
Yep.
It's a tough field, but it's a good field.
It's niche specific, but I tell you, there's a lot of people that are trying to do that right now. And we are involved with some of those people behind the scenes. So, we can help with the marketing in that area, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, business loans. Yep.
How about you, Rankin, if you can hear me? See, here's where I'm going. Oh, I can't do that. Damn phone. It's sometimes the phone timing is just horrible, isn't it? So here's where I'm going with the conversation, guys. We set this up so you could build multiple businesses consistently. So if you had something else that you wanted to do, you have the opportunity. But Bob's right, you have to focus on one when you first start. And as you build and as you grow, hold on, let me tell this guy, call him back. Gary speaking, can I call you back? I'm on a Zoom call, thank you. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So here's where I'm going with the conversation. And I'm going to reiterate that. If your experience level is, say, moderate, or you're new, even intermittent, you want to start off with one business at first. As you grow, you'll add. We're only ever going to promote 3 as a max, because if you go any farther than that, what's going to happen? You're going to slow your own progress down where you could have been. Okay? You never want to slow your own progress down. But we're going to support you and teach you and train you till you get there. This page that you saw tonight does what? What does it do? What do you guys think it does for you? Come on, let's give some feedback now.
Opens the door.
It does the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it opens the door for you.
Yes. It's an irresistible page that does your heavy lifting, right? So if you use the social media with some of the content that we have, and Bob will share with you, look, if we're getting 2 to 3 leads a day, and maybe only 30% turn into something solid, how many new members do you have this month? folks, I'm gonna tell you, I believe 30% is a very low number to convert, right? I really believe that to be very low. Because they're already interested, they're not gonna fill out your form. Right?
Again, you got to remember why people are filling out the form that I haven't even talked to yet. There's several on this call that I can tell you that we have not personally talked to each other yet. They saw what I'm doing on Facebook, and that's the only place. I haven't started doing anything with this on Instagram, anything with this on TikTok, on YouTube, nowhere else. And this is Facebook is not the only place that we are going to be marketing. And the other thing we haven't talked about yet is to let you know that in the background, we are going to have paid advertising going with a co-op going that people can be involved in as well. So,
Little
so
fun, Bob.
hang on a second, Gary. The fact that we talk about 10 a month, you have to have a number to shoot for. I'm going to tell each and every one of you here, if you get one a month, if all you start out doing is to be able to add one new paid member a month to your program, how could that change for you going forward? Because we're not talking about just you. We're talking about the next month that it's you and your first person. And the next month, it's you and how many people? And the next month, it's you and how many people all working together. Okay, we teach this marketing. It's not a concept anymore. We've already proven it. We've already proven that once you get people into profit, then they don't have to what? They don't have to look for new people anymore. They can help build downline, or they can continue building wide, depending upon the business model. But the point is that you're going to what I call graduate over a period of time. Now, for everybody here, if you were to go back in time with me, you would have started with me 18 years ago. Isn't that about right, Gary?
Yes, yes.
18 years ago. I am 18 years, 10 months, 9 days, and about half a day into a point in my life and my family's life that it took me to get to where I am a 5-figure monthly income earner. Period. Now, fortunately for you all, it's not going to take you 18 years. It ain't going to take you 10, ain't going to take you 5. But if it took you a year or 2 or 3 years to get to making a consistent $10,000 a month or more, would it be worth it? Give me a 3. Would it be worth being mentored by people that are already doing it? We're not talking about chump change here, folks. Because normally what Gary and I do, especially with new people on here, we ask you a series of questions that are based on your income streams that you're used to seeing. And we will tell you that out of every 10 people, and we've done this week after week after week for over a year now, and we get the same results. And this is why we only talk about $10,000 a month getting to that threshold. That 70% of everybody that we've talked to week in, week out, month in, month out for the last 14 months have all told us they have never been to call the glory, the gold of 10,000 plus per month consistently outside of their jobs. Ain't that right, Gary?
Yes.
Back to you, Gary.
All right, we're gonna have a little fun with the numbers. So you can see the vision. And when you get home, I want you to write your goal down and stick it on the refrigerator. Guys, this is one of the most important things you'll ever hear. In Harvard University, about 1970s, they did a study. Would everybody agree that you gotta be pretty brilliant to go to Harvard? Give me one if you think you gotta be pretty brilliant to make it into Harvard. All right. They did a study in roughly 1970 of the graduating class, or I think I actually did all three, all the classes, sophomore, juniors, seniors, and freshmen, and wanted to see what the percentage of that wrote down their goals. It turned out to be 3% at that time. Now, I want you to remember, if you never remember anything else, remember this. The 3% had accumulated more wealth than the entire other 97% 20 years later. Okay? 3% had accumulated more than the entire 97% of Harvard graduating students. So we're talking lawyers and politicians and the whole 9 yards. We're not talking, a McDonald's hamburger flippers here, guys. Can anybody see the importance of writing that goal down? So let's move on to the numbers and what it means. Bob just told you in 2 days, he's had what, three leads, 2 days roughly, and I've been averaging a little more than 2 myself. So we're gonna split the difference and say, well, let's just use the figure of 2. And we average 2 leads per day. How many leads is that per month, guys?
60.
Yes, 60, correct. So what's my odds of being able to find 10 solid people in that group, if not more, this month?
Since it's not even 15%, I would say it's pretty darn good.
So we're not hyping. What I'm showing you is we're not hyping the numbers. We're downplaying the numbers. If you choose to join us, you're plugged into a system that is self-perpetuating your goal to find the best quality people based on what they tell you in the forum. They're going to tell you what's important to them. They're going to tell you what they're trying to achieve. Do you think on a average of 60 leads, and we're only talking about using Facebook. We haven't talked about YouTube. We haven't talked about Pinterest. We hadn't talked about Medium or LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok. And I've got content for every single one of them. Okay, already optimized for you. So if you can cut and paste, you can use them all. Okay. Now, because 50 potential leads didn't sign up in the deal you offered them, doesn't mean that they won't in the future. Right? There's a lot of people that won't jump right away on something. They mull it and they mull it and they think about it. Sometimes you got to put something in front of them 3, 4, 5 times before they do something. Doesn't mean that they won't. It just means they didn't do it at the time you wanted it. Would everybody agree that's true? Connect them later. Okay? Is there anybody here that can't see the value of this replicated page and the work that's done behind the scenes to put this together for you?
If you can see the value of what we're doing so far, give us a 2. Give us a 2. If you don't see the value, give us a 3.
Yeah, we're not afraid of.
we're very transparent, very honest guys. You can ask anybody here. you
Yeah.
know.
We don't mind getting criticism on any part of it, guys. If
Yeah.
there's something we can improve, we'll improve it. But
Yeah.
we believe we have the ultimate machine beyond you spending 30, 40 grand in one of the big dollar deals that won't do any better than we're doing, right?
Let me ask a question real quick. I'm going to ask this to David first and then a couple other people. Hey, David, if we hadn't developed a system and tested it, the system that we ended up building DesAlps with, without any of this kind of help, do you think that you would have got to 12,000 people without the system that we developed?
Absolutely not. That was one of the tools that we learned together with. So there's no
Exactly.
way.
So what David's telling you, and David is a straight shooter guy, and because David and we butted heads with each other, so we talk. We're transparent people here. I'm just going to tell you, okay. And there's a lot of people on this call that have worked with me over the years. Amy's one of them, and she's going to tell you that when we teach, we have expectations of you just because we know that you should have expectations of us. And those expectations are, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you, that you come to training, that you take the training and apply it, and you get back to us and let us know what's working and what's not working, because we're going to tweak things until it works for you. And I'm going to be totally honest with you right now and tell you that 90% of the people that come and say that they want to be mentored, that they want to learn, I think that they have great intentions, but for whatever reason, something comes to pass and they just don't do what they know they should be doing. And I'm not going to sit here and toot our horns about all the students that we've had over the last just 2 years, because that doesn't matter. What does matter is who's here now and who is going to want to be able to plug in to what we're doing based on what we've already done before. I think the most important thing for you all, especially those of you that have not made a decision to come on board with this particular project, is whether or not you see enough value that makes it worth the while to you. Because there's this saying that goes out there that you can either try or you can plug in. As a matter of fact, I created this system called GPS, which is get in or get all in to whatever degree that you're comfortable with. Plug in. And what does plugging in mean? And plugging in means that you're plugging into communications that we provide, because we have our own private groups, our own private chats for communication daily, and plugging into training, because we're going to be on your butts. This isn't one of these situations. I'm just going to be straight shooting with you all. This isn't a situation where you get to work with us and then you don't hear from us. You can ask anybody about me. I don't care who it is. They will hear from me on a regular basis if they're working with Gary and I. Okay, because we don't talk crap without backing up what we're doing. And so the ones that stay with us and work with us, and again, this isn't about how fast you learn. This isn't about how fast you turn that corner from being not successful to being successful, because I spent 18 years working part-time. Well, actually 13 years. The last 5 years I've been retired, so I'm working full-time for the last 5 years. So 13 years part-time, and I sacrificed time with my family daily, 6 days a week for 13 years. I sacrificed the last 14 months to build my family's business in 2 different companies. And I sacrificed 15-hour days, 6 days a week. Now, my family knows how I operate. Now, I do not expect everybody to do what I do, but what I do expect is people to give me an honest day's work. and I teach time management. So those of you that think that you don't have 20 hours a week to put in this, I can assure you I can find it for you because I teach it. Okay. And so just understand this. We love everybody that's in here because you're taking the time out tonight to be with us, and we're past the hour, so we're going to have to wrap this up. But the most important thing is, do you see enough value, and have you heard enough folks talk about what we're doing to make sense that you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to work with these guys and I'm going to make a commitment. And the commitment that I'm always looking for is a person that's going to commit to me for a year. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you real quickly. I told this story now because it's very important. In the United States, we program our children to become worker bees. And that's programming over a period of 12 years. From first grade to 12th grade, we send you to school 5 days a week. We keep you there 8 hours a day. And we teach you only basic things and nothing to do with running a business, balancing your checkbook, all things that I teach, that Gary teaches. You will never learn in school. You'll never learn in college. You'll never learn in a trade school, but you will learn with us. But the programming is because they had to have worker bees in this country. And that's what they do. And so it's no coincidence that you go to school 5 days a week and you're in school 8 hours a day and you take 2 breaks and you eat lunch. There's no coincidence to how that fits for your life that's going to come out when you get out of high school. If you graduate or not graduate, that's going to determine what kind of job you're going to get, but you're going to be a worker bee because that's what they want. The people that own companies want worker bees. That's what they need. They don't need you to be what? Forward-thinking people that want to solve problems for others and take care of your dreams and the dreams of others that you are able to take care of. That's what we're about. We are dream makers, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't just make our dreams. I'm 69 years old. Gary's a little bit older than me. But I'm telling you right now, if I had to do all over again, I'd do everything that I'm doing right now. How about you, Gary?
Absolutely. I want to touch one final thought before we get off of here, Bob.
Yep.
We have a bonus coming for anybody that gets a replicated site that exceeds the value of the replicated site. How many of you on the call currently use a paid AI version? Either ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, or any of the others. Perfect. We're going to give you one that combines the abilities of all of them in one place. I'm going to leave a video with you guys to watch it. I own a white label version of it. I can give you all entry and your own personal copy of it. And you'll have no monthly
Hello
charge.
there, you're welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you
Let's
how
stop.
to use your
Let's
OmniBrain.
stop it. Don't play it here. Just stop it so you can view it after the call's over, okay? Thank you. So copy the site, pause the video if you need to get the link. But that will exceed the value of your replicated site.
And I
Okay.
just put the link back in here again. And so what are the next steps? The next steps are you take that link I just put in there. And if you're ready to commit, okay, or if you've got more questions, those of you that are connected to me know how to reach me through Facebook. You have my number. Just give me a call and we'll talk. And we'll decide what we need to do. Or this may not be for you. That's okay too. Not a
Yeah.
problem.
That is okay. The final thought for the new people on here, be sure we keep the chain of sponsorship in order, stay with the person whose form that you filled out. Okay? We don't want to violate that in any way.
Yeah, this form here is not that. This form here is if you already filled out the form that connects you, because remember, you're going to build your own list. This is what we're doing for you too. The value of being able to build your own list and connect with those people that are your people now is, I don't know, I'm going to tell you priceless, because I know that the list that I have, they're worth at least $1 per person per month. And I've got lists of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people that I can market to. But I've built that over years and years and years. Okay, just that in itself. So if you have not filled out the form, then you need to either get a hold of Gary or get a hold of me and go that way. Go ahead, Gary.
Final thoughts, and I'll end it there after that. Leo, I'm going to pick on you for a second. I want you to envision, because your primary business is business loans. When you build a group of 3, 4, 5,000 people, the percentages sooner or later that somebody would fall in that category for you as well as whatever opportunity you look at. So when you get to a list like Bob and I have 125,000 in one organization alone, then you have something pretty serious to deal with, because you'll have an endless supply in your primary field as well as any other opportunity. So keep that in mind as well.
Absolutely. I understand that part. And second, I'm not just on the business loans, I'm also involved with the insurance business. I'm a broker, insurance broker.
Oh,
So that's when you build a list of 100,000 people, 1,000 people, doesn't matter. Those people are going to refer you people and
yeah.
so on. It's an endless opportunity. So, hey, I'm with you guys. No
Oh,
question asked.
glad to have you there. And even more, there's another element to it, Leo. And the element is because they'll know your name.
There you go.
And people do business with what, Leo? People they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if it's a list that you built in one of the companies beyond your personal stuff, you have a way to double and triple market those people that are going to look at you before they were willing to look at anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just remember what Leo gets the capability of doing, especially as an insurance broker, is not just sell insurance to people, because my daughter is the top Allstate agent in a 6-state area, and Allstate is not cheap insurance, and she destroys everybody because of her customer service and her capability to connect with people on a different level. When she talks to people, and I'm sure Leo is the same way, they're not talking to people about wanting to sell you something that you don't need. I guarantee you that Leo cannot be successful with business loans or insurance by selling stuff to people that they don't need, and also trying to be lowballing people. Okay. I understand the industry inside and out, because like I said, my daughter, as a matter of fact, my daughter's only 31 years old. And Gary, did my daughter just retire 7 months ago?
Yes.
That's correct. My daughter is part of my company, my family company as well. And so, yeah, 7 months ago, she decided to take some time off. And the reason she can is because of the learning skills that she got from a lot of stuff that we're doing, and understanding this is a people business. You've got to solve their problems. They don't care about you. They don't care about your business. There's 100,000 loan brokers for business to business. There's 1 million freaking insurance agents across the country. There's 100 different companies that a person could take a look at and shop if they just want lowball dollars. So what's the difference? I'm going to tell you what the difference is that you learn how to become a problem solver and a person that has heart and a person that is got a soul, and you're going to take care of them. Gary, what
Hey,
do you
guys.
got? We need to.
Yeah, we need to wrap up right here.
Yeah, I send you a link. Check it out. I just built
I
that
did.
page
I
on
just followed
Facebook.
you. I just followed you.
How you like it?
Yes, it's a nice page. You need a little work, and Bob is an expert at it.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm here to learn and open to it.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Excellent. Okay, before we go, is there anybody that has a question before we leave that we could answer for you all? We will be back again next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
I have a question.
Sure, Lynn, go ahead.
When you talk about our picture and our telephone number, I'm up in Canada here. Are you using the phone through Messenger to contact people?
No, it's meant for people to call you, Lynn. You can use WhatsApp as well.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I would use, Lynn. In your case, I would use WhatsApp.
WhatsApp?
We've got somebody on an earlier call has both a US and a WhatsApp because he lives in Europe.
He lives in Spain.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
see, we have ways of working
Great
around
question.
anything, but it's a great question. But we have good workarounds.
Good
Great.
night, guys. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you
Thank
for
you, Leo.
attending.
Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, JB. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Rankin, for being here. Rankin, get with me if you've got any other questions. Otherwise, just let me know what you want to do to get started. That's what we're here for. Again,
Bob, go ahead and close that. I'm gonna have to grab this.
yeah, not a problem. I just tell each and every one of you, especially those who have been with us, that we are here for you. And that's it. And once you understand that, you're going to embrace that. And once you embrace that, you'll be able to share that. And when you share that, people get that vibe from you. They're going to want to be around you. Okay. Again, Gary talks about know, like, and trust. And until you get to that point with individuals, and that's why I say, if you're not talking to people, I'm not talking about texting people. I don't text anybody. If you can't talk to me on the phone, then that's a deal breaker for me. I'm going to be real honest with you, because I didn't build any business that I have today by texting people or emailing people. I teach email marketing. There is a place and time for proper email marketing, and we will have that because we're working on an email series in the background as well with an autoresponder. So for those that want plug and play, let me just caution you about plug and play. Be very careful who you're talking to about there, because you could get into some very heavy money, tens of thousands of dollars to get with a quote done for you complete funnel plug and play system that you just feed the advertising dollars in. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you're Mac Mills or you're Kelly Toller or you're Aaron Parker or you're people like that know me, that know these kind of people, they can afford to invest $10,000 a month in advertising. And if you can do that, hey, great. But the average person needs to have a very simple, replicatable system that they can take and duplicate what you're doing. That's it, guys.
All right, guys, we appreciate you spending your night with us.